mention all the time, the only way to really find lasting peace within ourselves, outside ourselves, the country we live in, the world we live in, the planet we live in, very much depend on compassion and love. The more of us are able to develop more love and compassion, the more there is a chances of more peace in the world. Without the love and compassion to others, when we become so selfish, so self-centered, and too obsessed or too overly concerned with ourselves, totally neglect others, totally ignores others' happiness, others' needs, not only is going to have a negative impact on others, harmful impact on others with that kind of actions, eventually that will have negative impact on ourselves. It's very clear now. It's becoming more and more clear if we look, let's say, the climate, look for a climate. The global warming. In the past, many of countries, individuals, they had only concern about their own economic growth, their own profit. They didn't care about others, the environment, about the animals that live in those environments, about others part of the world. Totally only concerned with their own country or individuals' prosperity, and totally ignore all that. And as a consequences of that, such actions driven by such, now everyone has to face the effect of global warming. The very people, the very country who didn't pay attention at the very beginning, now they themselves can't stop from catastrophe that's happening now over the world. It's coming back. And that is exactly what happens. That is exactly what happens. As His Holiness always what was the word? Clarifies or maybe explain. Maybe there was another word I'm trying to use, but anyway, because of interdependence, because of the fact and reality of interdependence, you cannot ignore others' happiness for your happiness. If you ignore others' happiness, in a way you are ignoring your own happiness. That is the fact, because of interdependence, interconnectedness. And that is becoming more and more clear in terms of economic, the global, the warming as well. It's normal case where if all the forests in the Amazon would cut, that it is going to affect only that part of the world. It's no more that. It's going to affect the whole world. If the glacier of the Himalayas melt, it's not that it is only going to affect those people there. It's going to affect 100,000 miles of other side of the world. The whole world is clear now. There are proof, scientific proof, which shows those clearly, scientifically. We find same economically. When there is crisis in United States, not only it affects United States, it affects the whole Europe, it affects the whole Asia and other parts of the world. When there is economic crisis in Europe, not only it affects Europe, it affects other parts, America, Asia. Same with when there is a crisis in Asia, it affects everywhere. So therefore, even for our own survival, for our own prosperity, we have to take care of our neighbors, other countries, the planet that we live in. Without doing that, we cannot have prosperity in isolations. Okay? By isolating ourselves and trying to develop prosperity just by here, it doesn't work anymore now, especially in now. It's very clear. Same with the peace that we see in the world very clearly all the time. When there is so much war, fighting around the country, around you, you can't live in peace. It is matter of time before this country, which is peaceful, will be affected by that violence going around. So therefore, trying to solve that problems of other country where there is going wars or violence is not only trying to help and solve them, it is also to solve your own, to kind of maintain your own peace environment. That is very clear, that we see everywhere. In Middle East, that is clear. Started one places and now it's spreading everywhere. Spreading everywhere. And that happens in every part of the world. Sickness, same thing. The Ebola, it started in one places in Africa, and the world didn't give much attention because that seems to be a problem there. It's not our problem. Now it is affecting so many countries out there. Now even other parts of the world. And now world is paying more attention. But if they have already paid attention at the very beginning, maybe they could have saved so many lives. They could have saved economically so much. They could have saved so much money, where they have to spend so much money now to kind of contain from that spreading. And that is exactly the situation in every field. Every field. It's no more that it is your problem and my problem. It's our problem now. Until we see it as our problem, it will be very hard. Maybe in the past, when the world was more isolated with each other, I think maybe there is more chances of survival within the isolations, without depending on each other. But that dynamic has changed over. In our now, this century, we're overly dependent on each other in every field. In every field, economically, like peace, everything, prosperity, everything, the way, the climate, even the sickness, like those diseases. Because in the past, if they were sick, people doesn't travel other part of the world. So people around there got affected, contagious, and they get, but it doesn't affect other part of the world. But now everyone's traveling. Everyone's traveling. Someone who is have a conscious virus there can bring it easily here, this part of the world, anytime. So disease, the chances of spreading from one to another has let's say, chances have grown much more than before. So the whole world has changed in that sense. So it seems trying to find prosperity, happiness, peace by isolating or by ignoring or by neglecting of others is not possible anymore. It is not possible anymore. So therefore, even for your own happiness, even for your own peace, even for your own prosperity, even for your own happiness, loving kindness and compassion is necessary, essential. It has changed. In the past, we think that we need loving compassion, not for ourselves, for others. There is that kind of, we have that kind of what you call understanding or misunderstanding, or that kind of image, or that kind of thinking. Compassion, the love, is for those who want to help others, spiritually engage in helping others. For those, they need to develop love and compassion. Those who are not interested in that kind of spiritual, or not interested in trying to help others, there is no need of cultivating love and compassion for others. But I think it has changed. Not only for that purpose, not only to be able to be more helpful, more beneficial, to be able to bring more peace, more happiness, more joy in the life of others. Even for your own happiness, peace, stability, prosperity, you need love and compassion. So now before it is more like, we think that it was kind of choice. Now it's no more choice. No more choice. The choice is about your survival or non-survival. If we want to survive, we need to develop love and compassion. That is the choice. If we don't want to survive, then of course we don't need to develop that love and compassion anymore. Survival for the humanity, survival for the planet has become so dependent on love, loving kindness, and compassion. Imagine when all the human beings lose that. Of course, it will not lose, but just in imagination, just creating one scenario. Imagine all of us have no more love, no more compassion, sense of care, sense of concern for others. What kind of a world it would be? What kind of world it would be? Desirous I don't think this world will survive, even for a day, especially with all the weapons now they have. With all the weapons, everything that there is. At the moment, there might be people who are so angry and so not much loving for whatever circumstances. They have been less in touch with their own love, compassion, and they have been more strong with anger and hatred and want to destroy the whole world like that. But very limited people. Very limited people, and those people have no access to all this kind of weapon. But imagine when everyone becomes like them, when there is no sense of concern for others, when there is no sense of value, respect for others' life. Of course, people who have access to all these weapons, everything, imagine when they have this state of mind. No respect, no value for the life of others. The world will be destroyed in few seconds, in few moments. So our modern world has made us no other choice but need to develop love and compassion even more than before for our own survival. Maybe it's good. Maybe in the past we will never think about that, but now it has situations is in such that is almost we have no choice. Then again we see, because of this such intimate relationship, interconnectedness, interdependent between country to country, between person to persons, between sentient being to sentient being, between our experience to others' experience, other experience with our experience. Now my mind is going blank. I was trying to say something. Now I don't know what I was trying to say now. Because all this interconnectedness, interdependentness. Yeah. Just as when there is so much fighting, wars, all around your own place, then there is no way you can find peace by yourself in isolation. You will feel that negative impact, energy in yourself, where you have no peace. That is where the world is feeling now. There's so much fear, worry all over the world because of what is happening in let's say Middle East and in Ukraine, for example. So much fear, there is so much, every place I go there is so much fear. People have so much fear, what is going to happen? So much fear. Peace is gone. The more closer your country is closer to those, the more fear there is, more worry there is, more anxiety there is. But even very far away countries, still they have fear, anxiety, worries. For many different, it could affect, of course, not only the peace in the world, it could affect economically. The economic crisis can go worse, and then with that, unemployment, everything's related with each other. Nothing is kind of one affects everything else. And so therefore, there's no more so peace in people's mind. There is so much worry. Same way on the other side, if all the countries around you are in prosperity and develop, if this country is the only one who is undeveloped within those all others, also is going to have positive impact. It's a matter of time in some way because of that interconnectedness, interrelated. Again, that is what we see. That's what we see. So, and on an individual level, that is thing. If every one of my family, if everyone is depressed, miserable, even I'm not miserable and depressed at the moment, it's a matter of time that that situation will make me miserable and depressed. Unless I am very strong, I have tools, very strong tools, practice to deal with it. If I'm just a normal, just like themselves, doesn't have those tools to deal with, it's a matter of time before I get that get affected. Then I become very miserable, depressed. And then this energy is going to affect again someone, my friend. On the other hand, because my experience is so intimately related, dependent, interconnected with their experience, and vice versa. On the other side, if they all are very cheerful, very hopeful, very optimistic, even though I'm not so optimistic, not so cheerful, and kind of a little bit depressed, eventually when I live with people surrounded by such positive outlook, eventually it will help me to come out of that negative state of mind and negative outlook. It's not matter what I want or not, but it's going to affect me in natural way when I see that every day in that way, positive way. And that is